It's time for To the Max Sports, where we talk about sports. They're just two guys, Max and Drew, in a bar talking all things sports. Well, without the bar. And the beer. Wait, why aren't we in the bar?
Hello, and welcome to the Max Sports. You all know what time it is. It's time for To the Max Sports. Bob, we got special guests in the house. You want to introduce Dino? Dino the Dinosaur. I don't know if he has any. Does he have any picks for us? Say hi, Dino. That's our new pet dinosaur.
He'll come and eat you later.
Okay, Bob. So let's get right into it. Bob, you are
crappy.
And
I'm crappy.
Yeah, well, that's okay. It's a game of second chances. But we always pick the primetime games just because we can't pick every single game.
And we could, but it'd be a really long show.
And we would lose our 18 viewers. But I do have my mortal locks. Guys, if you're following along, you want to make a little money, have bragging rights for your friends, I don't miss on my mortal locks. So let's just get right into last week. Bob, you went 2-2 because you did take Jacksonville outright, as I did also. Mm-hmm. So that's worth 2 points. You lost the other two. You finished 2-2. I was 3-1. You are now 14-9 on the season in primetime games. I'm above 500 now at 11-10.
I'm still winning.
But again, my mortal locks, which are not primetime, both hit, as did last week's and the week before. So do you want to get into, and we got a lot to talk about, folks. Stick around. We got the World Series. Very interesting.
Well,
we've got the Jim Harbaugh scandal. Obviously, this guy's winning because he's cheating.
Yeah, come on.
We'll get into that. We'll get into all things football, a little college, too.
Sounds good to me.
But let's run into our picks because I think that's what people want, and they definitely want my mortal locks.
So we're going to do the picks at the top of the show in the A block.
Yeah, let's change it. The A block.
Okay.
No T's this time.
Okay. So Thursday night starts with the Buccaneers on the road at the Bills. Bills coming off an interesting loss to the Patriots. Buccaneers having a very interesting season with Baker Mayfield under center. Buccaneers are an 8.5-point dog going to Buffalo.
Yeah, I said Tampa would suck at the beginning of the season. It only took me about 4 games in for that to start happening. They have scored against Detroit 6 points. And last week they scored 10. So they're averaging about 8 points a game the last 2 games. Now they're going into Buffalo, 50-degree weather.
55, that's pleasant.
Yeah, it's pleasant. That's what I'm saying. It's pleasant. So it shouldn't be a factor. But, a team that can only score about 8 points the last 2 games, I think both were at home going into Buffalo, who's got some defensive issues right now with some injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me Buffalo to rebound. I hate giving up 8.5. Again, this isn't one of my mortal lock games. This is one of my primetime picks. Give me Buffalo and the 8.5, and hopefully Baker won't get too hot.
Buffalo and the 8.5. Really? You're going to lay 8.5.
Lay 8.5 Buffalo at home. I don't like laying 8.5, and Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans scare me as a combination, but if they can keep them in check, Buffalo should. This is a game that I would never bet with probably counterfeit money. I still wouldn't bet this game.
This is really kind of a weird game for me because I don't know which Bills team is going to show up.
Yeah,
weeks they go great, and then weeks they just do weird stuff. I'm still trying to figure out the loss to the Patriots. So, given that, I mean, my gut would say they bounce back. They're playing at home, but give me the Buccaneers and the points. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, Bob, we'll do that.
That's a lot of points.
I just don't like a team that can't score points at home going on the road to Buffalo. But you never know in this NFL season. After this, I'm going to talk about teams that are trending up and some teams that are trending down. Who do we got for the Sunday night game?
The Sunday night game. Where the Sunday night game? Oh, it's another game that I don't even. My God, these 3 primetime games I really don't want to watch.
Games I wouldn't bet. Games I wouldn't want to watch.
The Bears on the road at the Chargers. The Bears playing their backup quarterback to their young phenom Justin Fields, who isn't looking all that phenomenal. Chargers are favored by 8.5 at SoFi.
Well, at the end of the day, I had a guy tell me, all things considered, if you don't know who to take, just take the quarterback you would take. And I got to go with Justin Herbert. Again, I'm going to lay 8.5, and I'm going to take the Chargers at home.
There's a lot of people in around the Bears organization that are saying anonymously, saying good things about Badgett, that he is actually the better quarterback in that quarterback room. He is more fluid. He is more capable of running that offense. So I'd be a little scared about this one, but yeah, give me the Chargers at home, lay the points. I think the Bears are a second-rate organization.
Yeah, rookie on the road, no thanks.
Yeah.
Monday night game.
Monday night game. Another big spread, 8 points for this one as well. Raiders on the road visiting the Lions at Ford Field. Raiders getting 8 points on the road against the Lions, who, admittedly, that was a game that, it would have been good for them to win, but that really wasn't a game where they needed to do anything against the Ravens.
They didn't need to do anything, but at the
end didn't do anything.
But at the end of the day, those are games that separate what I consider the elite teams, your KCs, your Phillies, to an extent San Francisco, teams that find ways to win. And that's what Philly and KC have been doing. Again, they played in the Super Bowl last year. Makes sense. But Detroit didn't really establish themselves in my eyes now as a team. They got their asses whipped. It wasn't even close.
38-6.
But I do think Campbell will have his team ready at home. I think they want to get that taste out of their mouth real quick. What better team to do it against than the Raiders? Again, I hate laying all these points. Give me the Lions -8.
Yeah, that's... I'm kind of with you on that one as well. I'm trying to see what the Raiders... The Raiders lost to the Bears this past week, 30-12, with that rookie quarterback. That doesn't say good things about the Raiders. I wonder if this is an overreaction, this spread. But, yeah, give me the Lions and lay the points.
Ready?
So we are only separating on one of these games, the Thursday night game.
Yep, only the Thursday night game. Now, my mortal locks. These are the games that if you want bragging rights for your friends, if you want to make a little money, you'll take this. Now, I got the line as soon as it opened. I love Jacksonville. I got them at -1 at Pittsburgh. The line's going up to 2.5. Jacksonville's really trending up. And, they played a difficult. They started out a little scary, but they've won 4 straight. 2 of them have been overseas. And I think the last 2 have been at home. And they are really starting to look good. Give me Jacksonville. Lay the points.
Jacksonville on the road in Pittsburgh against a team which has no right to be 4-2 given that roster. Which, Tomlin's doing Tomlin things.
Yeah.
I think you're going out on a limb on this one, buddy.
No, I think it'll be a close game. I could see a slugfest 17-9, but
I see the Steelers winning this game outright.
You didn't even see the Steelers being in the division conversation last week, and
now
they're winning outright against Jacksonville.
What have I said about the AFC North since the preseason?
Well, you said it's the best conference in football.
Toughest division in football, which means the worst team going into the season for me was going to be the Steelers, who were still going to be pretty good, and is looking to be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, they got a good spot last week, that conversation, and again, the NFL referee, and that's the hardest. And the hardest thing in the NFL for me, it's not picking the teams; it's beating the referees. Just god awful calls across the board. Again, I don't want to have a big conversation about it. Everyone who watches the games knows this.
I actually watched a YouTube video about a week and a half ago talking about actually answering the question for me of why, with a multi-billion-dollar industry that is the NFL, we still use chains. That we don't use other technology, and his comments about the reliability of the other technology actually kind of rings true. You really can't break a chain.
No, but you can put the lines. I mean, on tennis courts now, if the ball hits the line, that laser, you could put a laser light on the field. And you could see the laser line. It's just stupid.
I mean, I can see that on a court that is almost perfect, being a tennis court. Grass is not perfect.
But you're an audio guy. You can laser line the.
I get it, and it
actually makes it easier to see if they crossed. You could even laser the football. Tip of the football to see if it
they've
crossed.
tried that with the XFL. They've tried that with the USFL. Interesting thing is, the footballs in the NFL are already chipped. So they are actually reporting real-time pressure data. Those balls are. So, I mean, you could know where those balls are in space very easily.
Yeah, they couldn't challenge it because they're out of timeouts, but the Rams got screwed last week about even getting the ball back with that terrible spot at the end of the game that they gave the Steelers, which gave them a first down. They could and run out the clock.
And I've always said I want a referee in the sky who is part of the crew, not a review referee, someone who was actually part of the real-time crew. So,
and of course, we're beating a dead horse. But look at the Philly game. Look at the disparity in penalties of Philly versus Miami. I think Philly had 1 penalty. Miami had like 10 or 11. It's just.
Yeah, that was my feeling about the 49er Viking game. It felt like my 49ers were probably getting more calls against them than the Vikings. So now I know that isn't true. I haven't looked at the stat to see if that was true. It just felt that way to me. So anyway,
well, there's definitely some teams that are trending up. I mean, you gotta say Baltimore's looking.
Baltimore's looking good. Up. The Chiefs are looking Chief-ish.
Philly, I mean, talk about their ugly wins, but at the end of the day, they're winning.
Yeah.
And
I would like to say if I was an objective observer, I would say I'd be more concerned about the Eagles than I am about the 49ers. Those ugly wins translate to bad things when you start playing more quality opponents. They've had ugly wins against bad teams.
I would take Philly trending up right now with the 49ers. Here's a stat you probably don't realize, and I was a little surprised. Going into the fourth quarter, a Mike Shanahan-led football team, if the 49ers are down by 8 or more points, they are 0-37. That's a scary stat. So what that tells me is I write that on my chalkboard if I'm playing your 49ers, and I say, guys, jump on them early. And I know that's easier said than done because the 49ers do have a great defense. But if you have an 8-point lead or more, 0-37. So that tells me that I don't like a team that can't come back from a deficit, especially in the fourth quarter. And Philly can do that and is much more capable of doing that as well as the Chiefs.
I get that, and I think this is growing pains for Brock Purdy. I think he made a lot of bad decisions. He made a lot of good decisions, but he made a couple bad decisions. And quite frankly, I forget who their defensive coordinator is, that defensive call on that bomb at the end of the first half, that was a horrible call. That was a horrible call. I've only been watching football for the last 5 minutes, but you don't rush everybody and put yourself in man coverage for that type of play, where that is the only option the Vikings have. You put four on the line and you drop 7. 4 on the line, you drop 7. Anyway.
Well, I had a football coach tell me one time, he said basically, and it's true, a 60-minute football game comes down to 2 or 3 plays. Mm-hmm. And the 49ers are 2 plays away from being undefeated. Missed field goal last week in Cleveland.
Missed field goal, bad unsportsmanlike conduct call.
And then this week, the receiver for the Vikings snatches the ball out of your 49er defender hand, and with 16 seconds left in the half.
No, that was
was inexcusable.
Addison.
Where's the zone coverage? Like you said, one-on-one with. Come on, man.
Yeah. So anyway.
But
anyway. So it looks like I heard a little bit more from Aaron Rodgers. Apparently he is still limping, so maybe he won't be back by the end of the year.
No, just because you can. I don't care. Just because you can stand on the sidelines and throw a football, don't get your hopes up. Aaron Rodgers will be back. He's done for the season, and now I guess at this point the Jets have to say, you know what, we're gonna build our team around Zach, hope our defense can keep us in games and maybe eke out a a record that gets us in the wild card. I don't think they'll win the division.
The Jets don't look bad. They actually look serviceable.
If they can score 20 points a game, they'll win at least half of their games.
I mean, who do they got this week? They're they're playing on the road at home. They're playing the Giants.
That should be a win.
They're favored by 3.
I might hate that quarterback. I might hate the Giants quarterback more than I hate the Jets quarterback.
Oh.
My Bengals are playing your 49ers this week. That should be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I think you guys will probably beat us.
Well, that would be the hope.
It's 5.5.
It is 5.5.
I wouldn't touch that game.
Well, the problem is going to be is what kind of protection can the offensive line provide Burrows? Yeah. The one thing that surprised me, the stat from this past weekend for the 49ers, was they didn't get a single sack on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, that surprised me. They may have cracked the Purdy code, though. I'm telling you, it takes a while for the NFL to adjust, but they may be at this point. You may be seeing a lot of pressure being put on Purdy.
Yeah,
and see how he responds to it. And
now it's an arms race for Shanahan to dial up that offense to offset that pressure.
Bubble screens to McCaffrey
because we all and Debo was still out.
Debo was out. He'll be all right.
So we'll see where it goes from there.
Well, I think it was after maybe the 2019-2020 season in college football. There was talk of I call him Jim Harbaugh. There was like, hey, this could be his last year. Michigan doesn't do anything. And, man, for the last year, Michigan has really looked good. They've kind of in that national title conversation the last 2 years. Now I know why. They've been cheating.
They have
cheaters. And are you going to go with the same intensity that you throw at the Astros and New England and Brady if it comes to fruition that they've been cheating? Will you go with the same intensity?
What I am going to say is exactly what Primetime said. It's one thing to know what we're going to do. It's another thing to stop it.
I will say this, the guy that's been leading the cheating, he should be in porn because that is a beautiful porn name. Connor Stallions is the
honorably discharged U.S. Marine Corps captain.
Yeah. Connor Stallions. So he knows how to run reverse ops, psych ops. And these guys were buying tickets to literally every game they were playing that mattered. And if it was Penn State, Ohio State, they were buying tickets on both sides of the field, 50-yard line, using audio, which is prohibited.
What I'm trying to figure out is why is buying tickets for your staff to go watch another football team illegal?
It's not.
And one, why are you spending the money when you could watch the coverage on television and see the same damn thing?
Well, it's not. And if they were just buying tickets to go sit in the stands, but now they've been caught using audio, and that is prohibited by the NCAA. So they were videotaping,
The NCAA is trying to justify their own existence as a failed disciplinary organization. Now, I can see a world in which Harbaugh wins the national championship, and this is the last season he coaches in college, a la Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I think, that's exactly what I was going to say. He gets out, the kitchen's getting warm, the frog's getting hot in the pot, and he's going to jump out.
Yeah, because right now, the Wolverines haven't played anybody yet, but they've been crushing the ones they have been playing. They have two.
Yeah, because they're cheating.
They have two ranked teams ahead of them. They have Ohio State at the end of the season, and they have Penn State.
And they watched that game and cheated and audio taped it. So you guys are cheaters. Love my Buckeyes. OHIO. Hey, Bob, I'm wearing my Texas hat.
Your Rangers hat?
Yeah.
God, was.
Is this the World Series I wanted to see? No, I wanted to see Texas and Philly.
I
think it would have been a more entertaining World Series, but I'm
going to put out a public service announcement. Anyone in the Major League Baseball's corporate offices, please, if you're having depression problems, if you're feeling a little sad this morning about what the rating is going to be for the World Series, there are hotlines and there are mental health professionals to help you through this. It will be okay. It will be okay. You don't need to do something drastic. It will be okay. Your ratings are going to be in the tank, but it'll be okay. You'll get through it.
Well, Jordan Montgomery, maybe you can make a phone call to Taylor Swift, and those ratings will go through the roof.
My God, no one's going to watch this World Series. No one.
Yeah, I'm sure this is what Major League Baseball wanted.
No, I mean,
had it been the Phillies, then it would have been
okay. I mean, if it had been the Phillies and the Astros, I think out of the four teams that we had at the end, that would have been it.
Yeah,
but not the Rangers and the Diamondbacks.
I mean, you look at the Diamondbacks team. I remember, what was it, late September? They were in a battle with the Reds, the Marlins, and the Cubs, just to try to snag a wild card spot.
And
I mean, that was an up and down race.
And even aside from the fact that nobody cares about the Diamondbacks, and quite frankly, outside Texas, nobody cares about the Rangers, the Diamondbacks won 84 games in the regular season, barely above 500. They actually finished the regular season with a negative run differential.
Yeah.
And you have the Rangers, which up until the last weekend looked like they were going to win the division and then pissed it away.
Which leads me to believe they've really diluted. Again, I understand it's all about the money, but at the end of the day, the money's coming back to bite you in the ass in this World Series. When you have half the teams that are in the major leagues playing in the playoffs, stuff's like this is going to happen because you're getting the team that's hot.
Well, and I'm okay with that. I just don't like the fact that we have a 162-game regular season that we have to slog through. And then, to a certain extent, you're right. It does diminish it, but you're still playing for something in the regular season. So, I don't know. Get the Rangers in 5. I'm going to predict a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, I was going to say 6, but I think you're right. I think it's a 4-1. But who knows? I mean, like I said, Arizona's hot. This team came off a 110-loss season a couple years ago. They've rebuilt from within. They dumped their payroll. Can you pull up their payroll? I meant to do that before the show.
The Diamondbacks?
I bet they got one of the lowest payroll, other than my Reds.
Yeah.
The Reds will always hold the record every year for the lowest payroll in baseball. But I'll bet they're under... I know they're under 100 million. Got to be. Probably under 90 million. Overall payroll.
They rank 21st among the 30 Major League Baseball teams that have a payroll of 116.
Okay, so, and I'll bet the Rangers are probably, I'm going to guess the Rangers payroll is probably about 160 to 180 mil.
I got to, wow, this is really, really good. This is great radio. No, there's no total on it, but there's a couple players.
Yeah, they got Scherzer's contract.
Yeah,
I guess they picked that up.
Yeah.
But they signed a lot of free agents.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Uvalde is, 17?
Is Uvalde still out? No, he's pitching.
Yeah, Scherzer was 43 on that squad. Simeon, 26. Yeah, there's a lot of money on this roster.
A lot of money on that team. They should win it.
Yeah,
but good for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, good if you're a Diamondbacks fan. Sorry to Philadelphia. This is not going to be a fun season for you.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
Because I think your Eagles are gonna disappoint as well. But
we will see. We're on a collision course for the Eagles and the Chiefs again, which I wouldn't want to see, but what are you going to do?
I don't know. Eagles and the 49ers in a couple weeks, so we'll see. I think that'll be an interesting game.
Bob, what else is going on? Anything?
Let's see what else. The one thing about the Rangers beating the Astros is, do you know who was at Game 7? Who cursed the Astros?
Who?
A man who should have spent more time in Cozumel than he did in Texas. Senator Ted Cruz.
Oh, and you think he's the reason they were cursed?
Actually, that's what all the Astros fans are saying. When he was posting on Instagram that he was going to the game, all the Astro fans were going, no, please, no. Go to Mexico. Go to Mexico.
Folks, we never fail to bring politics into our to the Mexico.
I don't care whether he's on the right or the left. Don't bring a curse into the building. I mean, they didn't win a home game.
I think the curse may have been Mattress Mac. He lost like $42 million.
Oh man,
Mattress Mac is the mattress and furniture sales guy out of Houston that bets huge,
he's
mad
smarter
numbers.
he's smarter than the rest of us. He's making that up on the back end.
He's got a great promo. Bob, do you want to do some sports trivia to close it out?
Sure, but I need some cards. Give me a card or
What do you
two.
do with all your cards?
I don't know. They're around here somewhere, but I still need a couple.
I lose my cards.
I'm
We're
losing
down
your
to
cards.
hardly nothing now. There he is. Dino's part of it. Flip him around. All right, Dino.
Put him out there.
See who Dino likes.
Right there in your face.
Come over here.
Folks, that dinosaur is courtesy of IKEA, who is not a sponsor of this show. But if they want to be, they can be.
That'd be cool.
Okay. Ooh. You want me to ask first?
Sure.
This is golf.
Alrighty.
It's a very, very wet day.
It is. We needed a wet day.
It's raining really hard outside.
It's okay.
You've gone out and you're starting to play your nice round of golf with all your friends.
Yeah.
Your clubs got really wet.
Okay.
The grips are horrible.
Got it.
At the turn, you go into the clubhouse and you go get your spare clubs and you put them in your bag and you go back out and play the second round, the second half of your round, the back nine. Can you do that?
Did you throw your original clubs in the cart, or are they still slugging around in your cart?
No, they are no longer in your bag. They're all new clubs that you replaced all your clubs at the turn.
I wouldn't see any reason why, as long as you replace the entire set of the clubs, they're no longer on your person. They're in your trunk of your car. That should not be a problem.
I lulled you with my buttery smooth voice. You are not allowed to change your clubs during the round.
Oh, my God. You know, tell Vexler I could have won so many rounds with him now. God, I just think all the money I lost.
Jeff Vexler cheats? This is news.
He's only trying to be now. Jeff's a good guy.
Yeah, well,
I knew some guys that cheated. Jeff didn't have to. He's that good.
Yeah, talking about cheating, two of the Formula One drivers this past weekend in Austin got disqualified after some post-race technical investigations. Leclerc and Hamilton. Anyway.
Well, maybe that's where Harbaugh can find his niche. Maybe he can be owner of NASCAR.
Oh, man. I don't like cheaters unless they're my cheaters, and then they're okay.
I noticed that. Okay, we'll stick with golf. Is it legal to pull up live grass on the teeing ground when the grass is behind your ball? Live grass on the teeing ground when the grass is behind your ball.
Yes.
In my smooth, buttery voice.
No?
Yes, you are correct, Bob. You are the winner. You
As-
finally win at something.
As long as it doesn't affect the ball, the lie of the ball.
Yeah,
but then again, as a tee box, you could put your ball down.
I put the tee up and then kind of brushed off some grass. There's
I
a lot of divots on the tee box. You can move some shit.
I was worried about the live grass because I was wondering why is that part of the question?
That was the trick. That was the trick.
That was the part of the question.
And if you live in San Antonio, Texas, there is no live grass.
I don't know. It's
picking dead grass.
It's going to get pretty live. We've had some decent rain the last couple days.
The high next week is supposed to be 55 degrees.
No shit.
Yeah, on Halloween.
We're a few. So is it supposed to rain on Halloween night?
They say it should be dry, but it'll be cold and windy.
Good.
Sorry, kids. Get off my lawn.
Good.
Until next week. OH.
Peace
IO.
out.
Peace out.